Got a question about early movie roles.
Boy.
Like John Travolta and a lot of other actors, one of your first movies was a horror film.
Oh, you've done way too much research, my friend.
Call the video store. They have a copy of The Burning. Was that the SAG card job?
No, commercials were the SAG card. But it was, listen, when you're 17, 18 years old and you go, I'm in a movie, it was very exciting at the time and a lot of fun to do and a god-awful film. But launched Holly Hunter, was her first film, and Harvey Weinstein, who became Miramax, produced it. It was his first job producing. And so it's remarkable in those aspects and none other.
I remember seeing you on TV where you were doing some singing, and it was amazing to see how graceful you were.
No, thanks.
The movement and all that. Do you suffer from what I call the B.B. Newell syndrome, where people don't realize that you have those other talents?
It's only beginning to be something that I've had an opportunity to do on a national scale. Working in New York in the musical theater for 12 years, New York said, yeah, we got it. And it's no surprise to them. But I guess the rest of the country, it's a creeping awareness, so it's still kind of a shock.
I love watching actors on television and speaking to them later, how people will go back and quote lines from them, from their films, their TV shows. When you walk down the street, how often do people quote back lines to you from shows or whatever? What type of things do they say?
We get a lot of, first of all, I get a lot of, hey, George, which, silly me, I don't normally think people are calling me. We get a lot of, hey, where's Jerry, where's Kramer? And then we get little aside comments like, are you master of your domain? Which even if you know what that's about, is an odd question to ask somebody about first meeting. We get, people just want us to know that they're in the know and that there's little subtle line callbacks. There's not one in particular other than there's nothing wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that is a big one that we hear a lot. And, they're watching this stuff like it's Star Trek. I used to be able to quote every line of the original series, and by gosh, we're in that journal now.
Last year I went to Washington, D.C., and I did a tour of the White House. Very intimidating experience for me. Weren't you actually at a gala at the White House and met the Clintons?
Yes, and had the same experience and was a goon. I actually wound up telling Hillary Clinton in the White House that she had a very lovely home here, because I couldn't think of anything else to say. And they looked at me like I was from Mars, and I just moved on and became a citizen of France at that point.
And one final question. This is for a sidebar story I'm doing on memorable movie villains, how people react to them. The Pretty Woman experience.
Mm-hmm.
After that, before Seinfeld caught on, how did people react to you when you saw them on the street?
Yes, I call that the year of darkness, where a strange woman would walk up to me on the street and just come up and go, I hate you. And I go, well, thank you very much. You've obviously seen Pretty Woman. It was actually a very tough and exciting, it was exciting because all of a sudden a lot of people were aware of my career. On the other hand, they didn't like me very much, and they weren't sure, do I not like this character or do I not like this guy? And Seinfeld thankfully came along and gave me another national platform to do something else with. But people, particularly women, were very, very affected by that character and did not care for what I did there. And very few of them said, I hate you, you did a good job. They just kind of said, I hate you. So it was rough for a while.